Guys, welcome to a new episode of the Dulce Candy podcast. Today's episode, you're not going to want to miss out. We have an incredible guest, the one and only Dr. Elizabeth Lombard. She is the author of Skinny Dipping and the Fountain of Youth, #1 best-selling book. And I have been waiting for this moment for so long. It is a dream come true that she is here with us to grace us with her beautiful spirit. It's a conversation you're not going to want to miss out. All about looking and feeling your best from the inside out. She is 64 years young and more vibrant than ever, and she is going to share all of her secrets today. This moment right here for me has been long in the making. You're someone that I instantly fell in love with. And I know it's such a big word to say, but honestly, it's true. I feel like the moment that I saw you on YouTube, which is where I discovered you, there was something that in my heart that just felt love towards your spirit, your energy, your essence, and everything about you. And
thank you.
Yes.
That's such a beautiful thing to say. And can I share with you, that says so, I'm honored to be here, and I'm honored that you say that. It touches my heart so much. And it says so much about you and who you are. And the importance of spirit in your life.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
And the discovery of that and the journey that you've been on and that you're on now.
Yeah.
It says so much about the specialness of who you are.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. I feel like you've been a light for me since the very beginning. I know your spiritual journey has started since you were a little girl.
Yeah.
You know?
It has.
Yeah. So, and for a lot of people, it doesn't. You know, for me, it started in my 30s.
Wow.
So I would love to hear how does a soul come to know that realization at such a young age?
Well, we all know. We come here from the divine, from source, from God, from the universe. We can call it whatever we want. It's all the same thing.
Yeah.
And we come in encoded with awareness of we are divine. Like, we take on these lovely physical bodies, but the greatest and largest part of us is the divine. Yes. So it's just that a lot of times in coming here, this is the third dimensional realm. So coming here to the third dimensional realm, and depending upon the factors of upbringing, experiences, things like that, sometimes the soul might forget. Or sometimes, if it's really traumatic, they even unconsciously choose to forget because it's too difficult. Yeah. Because we're so bright and so beautiful. And sometimes in a world that tends to be a bit unconscious, it gets to be a lot. And so for me, it's the single most important thing in my life.
Yeah.
And I just came in and hung on to it like the whole time.
Wow.
But each one of us are encoded with this. Our intuition comes, it's like I say in my book, intuition comes standard with it's like a car, right? A car comes standard with seats and a wheel. It's necessary. We come into these bodies, standard is our intuition. But nobody's really teaching that. No one's really talking about it. It's why I love that we're having this conversation.
Yeah.
And so we all have it. It's not like somebody missed it. And then what gets to happen is we get to reawaken to it. And then when we reawaken to it, we get to choose. Like, we make the choice. Because as you know, choice is the most important thing. We have to choose it. We have free will, so we have to choose it. And when we discover it and decide to choose it, that's when the fun begins.
Yeah,
that's when the empowerment, all the things we want most.
Yeah.
What do we really want? We want true happiness, peace, fulfillment, connection. All that comes from the connection with the divine.
Yes.
So, and then all the other things, success, great partner, financial abundance, it all comes when we connect in.
Oh, wow.
Makes sense?
Yes. Yeah. And I was actually studying a little bit about just the source of our soul and how even before it comes into this body, as it detaches itself from the main source, it's intuitive. It knows what to do and how to make its way into a human body without a mind, without awareness. It's intuitive by nature.
Yes. Well, you want to know why?
Why?
Because we don't lose that connection to source. Even though here's all of source. And so the soul then says, okay, I'm going to hop into this body, this particular body right here, your beautiful body, my beautiful, Jesse's beautiful body, and come in and have this wonderful experience. Yeah. But there's no disconnection. But the only disconnect is people think they're disconnected. They think they're separate and they think they're less than. Yeah. Like as they hold source as something out there that is so wonderful and special, but source is in here. It's a part of us. And when we connect into that, then what happens is we have all the freedom in the world to, through our intuition, connect and move and flow and do everything we want to do. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Yeah. So I would love to know what are some practical ways in which people that feel disconnected can connect back to source, and what are your daily practices to reconnect, and do you ever feel disconnected?
Yes. Okay. So wonderful questions. All your questions are amazing. And created from someone who's been tapping in, which is amazing.
Thank you.
So first of all, how someone can, it's as simple as bringing yourself into the present moment. That can be done as simply as the breath. I call it a reset breath, and the reason I call it that is because it resets us. So it's as simple as we put our left hand on our heart, our right hand on our tummy, and close our eyes and take a really beautiful deep breath in, and then an exhale.
Oh, I want people to do this at home.
Exactly. And so what we're going to do is we're going to have them close their eyes. And obviously we have our legs crossed for the interview, but if you're going to do the practice as people watching, it's best you can put your feet flat on the ground. Not us, but you put your feet flat on the ground. Left hand on your heart. And the reason we put our left hand on our heart is because the energy is going to connect in to the heart, and it's going to connect through the body back. So it's a circle to the heart, from the heart. You have two beautiful babies. Yes. And when they're like, mommy, 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 the first thing you do, or Jessie comes home and has a difficult day with something, the first thing you do is you pick them up or you hug them. And the first thing we did when we saw each other, great big hug. It's so lovely to meet you. It's that connection, because we are in physical bodies. Yeah. And we want to enjoy that we're in physical bodies. It's a treat we came here. Sometimes some spiritual practices, unfortunately, they shame the body or they make the body bad. We be a non-physical being if you don't want to be in a body. But we want to enjoy the body and have the full expression of the physical in the body, right? Oh, wow. So connecting to another human being by hugging them and doing, this is literally like giving ourselves a hug. So left hand on the heart. And I'm going to, before we even begin the breath, I'm going to actually walk them through how to do the breath, okay? Yes. Since we're actually going to do this. So the breath is very sacred, and you're going to drop the diaphragm down. And the reason I have your right hand on your tummy is you're going to actually, as you breathe, push the tummy out. The chest never rises and the shoulders never go up. A lot of people, when they get stressed, the first thing they do is,
breathe up here.
Because you get scared, right? And then the fear takes over the body. This is a way to counterbalance the fear and put ourselves back in love. Yeah. Because fear and love can't exist simultaneously. Yes. So the reset breath is a way to tune ourselves back in, to clear the fear and tune ourselves back into, because the fear is really an illusion. I know we hear that all the time, and it's like yada, 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 but it's true. The fear is an illusion. It's not real. But it feels very real and very scary. So the reset breath tunes us back into the present moment. So if we can drop the diaphragm, then expand the rib cage. So literally, it's like pushing your tummy out, pushing the rib cage out, feel the diaphragm drop. And then at the very end, the chest goes, the shoulders never go. That's a reset breath. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do that now. Okay,
beautiful. Thank you so much.
So, and you're doing a beautiful job with it. You
Thank
know this. But I want this for everybody watching, because not a lot of people talk about this, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Left hand on the heart, right hand on the tummy. Deep breath in. And in that, the most important thing is to feel into the peace and quiet and sense of well-being, no matter what's going on in the outside. It gives you that, doesn't it?
It really, wow. Yeah. It's almost like if you just meditated, you know what I mean? It just takes you directly, almost,
Genius that you say. It's a mini, it's like, it's a reset breath. It's literally a mini meditation.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
It's
You know, when you open your eyes and you have that bliss, like, yeah, that's what it feels
and
like.
you want to know why?
Why?
Because you've just connected in to yourself, to the source of yourself.
Yeah.
You just connected into the divine.
Yeah.
And it only takes a minute. It's why that subchapter in my book, you can always go to the bathroom, is so important. I want people to know, let's say you're negotiating a big deal. And because a lot of people will use lower level frequencies to try to get what they want.
Yeah.
And they'll come at you with either aggression or forcefulness or control, manipulation, all these things.
Yeah.
Those can be strong, but in this hierarchy, I call it the hierarchy of emotional energy. In our emotional scale, that bliss that we just got by that breath vibrates way up here. Manipulation, control, forcefulness vibrates down here. It's not nearly as powerful. So even if someone sends a lot of force in your direction, one reset breath having you, so you can stay there and you could fight there, but it's not going to get you very much.
Yeah.
You're not going to feel very good.
Yes.
It's not going to, and it's going to take you out. And the person doing it is quite a master at it. They've mastered doing that in their life, haven't they?
Yeah.
You've seen it.
Yes.
Just because someone has either a lot of abundance, a lot of money, let's not use the word, but someone has a lot of money, they have a lot of clout, they have a lot of, I won't say power, but they think it's power. Just because they have those things doesn't mean they have awareness or consciousness. They have learned to manipulate some things to get what they want. And so if you're up here, I equate it to flying your airplane. So let's say we're in our private jet and we're on our way to my favorite place in the world, Tahiti. And here we are, we're flying up here 35,000 feet. The person who's down here in this energy, this is kind of like some poop on the ground.
Yeah.
To engage in that, you'd have to take your Learjet and literally crash it into the ground to engage down there. So if you keep your frequency here, they can toss some poo up there, but they can't reach 35,000 feet.
Yeah.
But the problem is most people don't realize how powerful they are and they don't have the tools.
Yes.
So what happens is they get caught, and let's say maybe they're just plotting around here, up here, and they're feeling pretty good. They get caught in that and they get pulled down, and then what happens is they start fighting in this. And then what happens is it doesn't go very well. And how we know is we don't feel very good, right?
Yes.
When you engage in it, because we're human beings.
Yes.
Sometimes it happens.
Yes.
Someone kicks you and you go, ow, that hurt.
Yeah.
We don't want to do that, but sometimes we do. And so what happens is that in a moment, in a second, we can tune into our emotional frequency and go, that doesn't feel good. Engaging and fighting with this energy doesn't
never
feel
feels
good.
Yeah.
Let me take a reset breath and bring myself right up here. It does multiple things. One, it certainly brings us back up to our neutral space, our peace, our sense of well-being. It also brings us to a space where they cannot, if they're at this frequency, like what's the song? Can't touch this.
Oh yeah.
Can't touch this.
Yeah, that's so true.
Can't touch it.
Yeah.
But we don't realize the power that we have. So that's the first.
Yeah.
I teach a course, and the course is called Your Superpower, the Superpower Formula. People don't realize how much power they have. So what I do is, I teach people how to access
Wow.
their empowerment,
Yeah.
their power.
Yes.
It's actually their superpower.
Yeah.
So this is the very first thing I teach people in your superpower course, in the superpower formula, because it's so powerful. You bring yourself up here, and it's why practicing meditation every day. To answer your next question, I meditate every single day. I do all of my inner work. And I do for whatever. I literally don't get out of bed for at least 20 minutes. Sometimes I give myself the luxury of more. But if someone's like, that's great for you, Dr. Elizabeth, you don't have kids, you don't have a husband. I do have I have a business that I run in a private practice, and I work like 12 hours a day, as you well know. We work like crazy.
Yes.
But I don't have children knocking at my door. But even if you take 5 minutes, if you take that 30-second reset breath, that took us 30 seconds.
Yes. And
it changes everything.
I think it's important to note that, like, I have children. And also, like, I'm a working mom and everything, but a lot of people say it's unrealistic. But that's a mindset, right?
If you think of 24 hours in a day, and you're going to give, let's just be generous and say 1 minute, okay?
Yeah.
Let's say that reset breath. If we wanted to luxuriate in that reset breath, we would take it for a minute. 1 minute out of 1 hour, out of 24 hours, it's 1,000% a mindset.
Yes.
And can I share with you even deeper than that?
Yes.
The person saying that is stuck in an overwhelm energy. And when you're in fear and overwhelm, what happens is you get sucked into a not so great vortex of that spinning. And let's say, because it's mostly women in the audience, she could be spiraling out for 20 minutes worrying about something, when a 1 minute reset breath would give her those next 19 minutes to go and do something wonderful for herself.
Wow. It's so true. I feel like personally for me, I need to meditate twice a day, in the morning and before bed. And I have an abundance of time, even with children, even with the business, even working out, everything. I'm able to, even when my baby was a newborn and I was breastfeeding and pumping milk 24/7, that was when I first said, spiritual discipline is very important,
It's everything, because from that, everything else transpires.
Yes.
Everything. If you took a breath and then you go, oh, let me go pick up my babies. Let me get in the car. Let me center myself. Oh, the garage door is closed. Let me open up the garage door. Now let me take a breath. Then what you get to do is, and this is the magic part that I want people to hear, you get to invite in the divine to play and dance and move and create through you. So let's say it takes 10 minutes to pick your babies up. Let's say your older one's in school. It takes 10, 15. How long does it take to get?
Like 20 minutes.
Perfect. It takes 20 minutes to get there. So, but if there's traffic, it's going to take a lot more.
Yes.
You center yourself. All right, Spirit, guide me, put me along the path. All of a sudden, Spirit, go here, go there. You avoid the traffic completely. You get there in grace and ease because you centered yourself beforehand.
Yeah.
And I don't think your audience will think that's too crazy.
Yeah.
I really don't.
No.
And it's a tool that's at our disposal, but we don't realize it. I've learned to really use this in my life, and it's so powerful. I do it every single day. I get in my car. I bless. I bless. I say, I put a bubble of light and blessing around myself. I put a bubble of light and blessing around. I have a car. I call her Bella. So I put a bubble
Bella.
She's beautiful. I love her. I put a bubble of light and blessings around me, bubble of light and blessings around Bella, and then a bubble of light and blessings around everybody. And then I ask that my journey be safe and be swift.
Wow.
And it's simple. It takes a second to do that. But when you're in that awareness, what happens is that, it's like Joseph Campbell says, doors just open. Everything opens up for you when you follow that.
Yes. Oh my God, it's so true.
You know that in your own life,
I
right?
I really do feel that. I feel like I used to be met with so much resistance in everything that I did.
You were fighting against everything.
I was fighting against, and nothing was coming to fruition. And I had a lot of turmoil in my mind, a lot of frustration and chaos, relationships and everything. And really, the divine coming into my life and setting that intention in everything that I do has just opened up everything with ease.
Grace and ease.
Grace and ease.
Effortlessness.
Yeah,
it's really true.
Yeah, effortlessness.
And we are the ones who have the power. The power is not outside of us. No one outside of us has the answers. No one outside of us has the best way for us to go. And so when we tune into that, then we get our guidance. That's when we get our guidance. That's when we get that's when the magic starts to happen.
Yeah.
It's the biggest thing. And I think this is really important to presence. Spirit's telling me this right now, so I'm going to presence this. As women, we've had to fight for a long time. Fight to be seen, fight to be heard, fight for our rights, fight for our children, fight for everything, fight for our husbands or our partners and girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever it is. And we've had to fight for so long that fight energy tends to be in the female space, but it is the antithesis of the female energy, isn't it? We have to give a shout out to Jessie.
Yes, we do.
Who's her beautiful husband.
Thank you, Dr. Elizabeth.
Oh, you're welcome. Who's really, Jessie, we want to tell you, you're the embodiment of the sacred masculine.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
What makes you say that?
Oh, I love that you asked me that. That's such a great question. Literally, like people can't see, but he's here behind the cameras in massive service.
Yeah, he's very supportive.
And also holding your masculine. It's not like you're supportive, but you have held your own space and energy. That's the sacred masculine part. Held your own space and energy, and then are able to be in service to the divine feminine.
And I think that goes so well with what we were talking about. You said the dance between the divine masculine and the divine feminine
and
the sacred masculine, because I feel like oftentimes women can't lean into their feminine because, like you said, we have to be so hard. I have to support myself. I have to take care. I have to be independent because we can't. Maybe.
And then you layer in the dating world, which is whole nother. And then you layer in some of the misbehavior in the dating world, and then it happens on both sides. We're not going to make either men or women out into the bad guys. I would call it. It's not a male thing. It's not a female thing. It is an unconscious. People dating from a place of, and even having sex from a place of unconsciousness, as opposed to creating intimate, loving relationship from a place of consciousness. You guys have created a beautiful, intimate, loving relationship from a place of consciousness, and you've created an empire. You literally, what you guys have done, it's
thank you,
beautiful. And each on their own, it would have been, not to say you each could have done it on your own, but it's like I say in my book, 1 + 1 does not equal 2. 1 + 1 is infinity. 1 + 1 is, and that's what you guys have created. Taken the best of your talent. You're magnificent in front of the camera and spectacular. Taken all your passions, all you love to do, all that Jesse's great at, and all he loves to do, and put that together in a way that's muy delicioso.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
So for women, let me just get this channel. I want to get this information right. They've believed that the only way to get it done is to push against and to fight. Fight my way to the top of the corporate ladder. Fight my way to the partnership in a law firm. Fight my way to the practice as a doctor. Fight my way as an influencer. Fight my way on social media. Fight my way. But the energy of fighting against never works, especially for a woman, because her essence, now she can be in her own dance of the divine feminine and sacred masculine, which means that you're first tuned into your feminine essence, which is your intuition, which is taking the reset breath, getting your guidance. Like, I guarantee you, you just didn't call me yesterday and say, hey, can you come over for an interview? What am I going to ask her? This has been well thought out and well planned. And you spent time in meditation before you wrote your first question, didn't you?
Yes.
See, guys? See?
Yeah, definitely.
You
And I
did.
feel like something beautiful that happens when you tune in is inspired divine right action.
That's what the
You don't
divine-
know why you sometimes make a decision, even if it seems scary or uncertain, but it just feels right. Something is telling you that this is the right next move.
And that is what I call your inner guidance, inner wisdom, inner knowing, intuition.
Yeah.
That's what I teach.
Tapping into that.
I teach people, especially
Wow,
women.
that
Then I
is
have a group for men
powerful.
too, but women,
Yeah.
how to tap into this.
Yeah.
It's our superpower.
I think it's such a gift that you're doing that, Dr. Elizabeth, because I feel like the world is really needing so many people to tune back into their heart and love.
It's so necessary. It's so necessary. And it's so beautiful. It's the reason we came here.
Yeah.
It's why we came here. And when we do it, it is the best gift in the world we can give ourselves, is to do this. It's our birthright to do it, and we're meant to do it. And when we do it, everything opens up. But it sometimes feels really scary, because if you look at from the time as most human beings coming in, you look at the school system. We're taught to compete and fight against everybody else. We're taught we have to push. Sometimes, I'm sure you have kids. Sometimes the study and the things that they put kids, it's insane.
Yeah.
And there's no one teaching. I hope there's a beautiful teacher listening who begins to teach this in the school classroom, because it's so important. Teach children, even if you give them the breath, that's so important, because so many kids so early on, because there's so much pressure on children, they become full of anxiety. They become overwhelmed. They become anxious. And then they think that they're depressed, and they think, I'm like, oh my gosh. And then they put them on medicine. Oh God.
Yeah.
And it's like, no. Teach them how to reconnect with their own divinity within themselves. All that other stuff goes away. The overwhelm goes away. The anxiety goes away. All the noise goes away. And as we get older, what happens is with the layering of the fear, the worry, the overwhelm, the anxiety, all that layers up. And then what happens is people develop coping mechanisms. Drugs, alcohol, random sex, shopping, television, overeating, over drinking, over everything.
Yes,
And what happened? And then everything goes unconscious.
Yeah.
We're not. It's like the spark of who we are is so far disconnected from our truth. We're so far disconnected from our truth. But when we can reconnect back into that, reconnect back in, then we can let go of the coping mechanisms. That's what I teach people. This is the work that I do. I teach people how to do that, because so people come to me, go, oh my gosh, I've been doing this, or I've been doing that, and I'm like, and then they punish themselves. There's so much shame around it. I have a lot of shame because of this or that or the other. When we connect them back into themselves, back into their intuition, then we can begin to shed those coping mechanisms, begin to shed the anxiety. Now we have a human being who's living out their most beautiful divine life.
Oh, their most beautiful expression.
Their most beautiful expression.
Yeah, that is God's work right there.
That's God.
Yeah.
And that's what we're all meant to do. We're all meant to come and do that. It's, remember, and it's one of my favorite quotes that got channeled through me. In all of eternity, for all of time, there's only one you, one of each and every one of you, one of me, with our divine, magnificent, unique combination of gifts and talents to give the world. And when we give that, and all of us give that, the mosaic of life is complete. The whole expression. That's, people want peace on earth. That'll give you peace on earth.
Yeah.
When everybody is living from their divine, how can you not have peace on earth? All the troubles,
so true.
right?
Yeah.
It all falls away. It all falls away.
The awakening. Yeah, that's so true. Even with my own children, something that's so important for me as a mother is to teach my children now and help them discover their gift and their talent to serve the world.
It's
You
so
know?
true. And themselves,
And
to
yeah.
enjoy it themselves. And one of the best ways to do that is you watch what they're 3 and what?
3 and 12. Yeah. Yeah.
So you watch, what are they doing? What do they gravitate towards? And I bet they're uniquely different.
Oh,
aren't they?
yes, completely. Night and day.
Night
Yeah.
and day difference, right?
Yeah.
It's so interesting. And you watch their personalities, you watch their expressions. What do they gravitate towards? And a parent's opportunity, I won't say job, their opportunity is to foster and develop that.
Yes.
You see them gravitate towards that. And like I was telling you about earlier about my sister, who went on to become, she started out of college, she started at the Nordstrom. She was in fashion jewelry at the Nordstrom. She was a little Nordstrom girl selling fashion jewelry. Ended up there at the top of her career, the #1 sales girl for Cartier, Piaget, and Panerai in the world.
Wow.
#1 in the world, salesperson in the world for Cartier.
Yeah.
They used to call her over when they were developing new timepieces. Cartier would fly her over to Switzerland to help the development of it. It was amazing. And guess what she did when she was little?
What?
She used to take my mother's jewelry and line it up and organize it, polish it,
Wow.
look at it, organize everything. And if she didn't have access to my mother's jewelry, she went to the box of Crayolas and she'd line them up by color. She'd line them up by, she has this gift for beauty. She has a gift for organization. She has a gift for, and she took that and she parlayed that. And nobody interrupted that path. She always teases because my father had a different agenda with me because I was the oldest, which we can talk about or not talk about. But Chrissy, she was the youngest of 4 girls, so he didn't have much control or attention or manipulation on her. So she actually got to flourish the most because she got to actually go and do what she wanted to do.
Her path didn't divert to anything else. Wow.
She got to do. And so that's a perfect example of she followed her own bliss and it opened up in ways that were magnificent.
Oh, I would love to talk about like the person in your life that fostered you and to who you became today.
I love that's a great question. So I would say #1, it was my mother.
Yes, I knew that. I saw your mother's face right now. I know, I did. Yeah.
In fact, she reminds me of you a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she reminds me of you a lot. Yeah. So special.
Yeah.
I love that
I saw your mom's face when you were speaking about your sister. I just saw your mom's face.
Yeah.
And your mom also touches me. Yeah. And she has affected my family also.
Really?
Yeah, because I remember that story that you said that you're...
It's going to make me cry.
Sorry. Yeah, Dr. Elizabeth, like when I have birthday parties for my kids, I also make sure for everyone to, moving forward, to now get a little gift because that's what your mom did, you know? And so when
much.
I have birthday parties, like I think about your mom also, and, you know, your mom is she just transcends.
I've said that story on my
YouTube channel. Yeah.
So I don't know how many, probably tens of thousands, maybe even 100,000 by now, people have heard that. And I wonder, out of all those people, how many implemented that?
Yeah.
But you implemented it.
Yes, I think about that too. And it's like, wow, you don't want to make anyone feel like that. Just shows your mom's love and heart. Right. Thinking about so many, like all the kids. We want everyone to feel special.
We want everyone.
Yeah.
So I just want to share with your audience.
Yes.
Is it okay?
The backstory.
To the backstory of it. So growing up, so she would, whoever had a birthday, she would get a lovely big birthday present. And no, of course, not extravagant, but whatever she could get. And then she got, like, it was this little thing, like a little matchbox for the boys and a little something for the girls, a little cute and was something. But she got everybody something so nobody felt left out. And I love that you took that on.
I did.
I love
it really
that
inspired
so
me.
much.
Yeah.
That is just...
And I want to know, like, how does she cultivate? I mean, you just seem like such a clear expression of her also, you know? Like, how does she cultivate you and that love for you to blossom into who you are today?
She really was wonderful in seeing us and loving us. Her capacity, like you, and Jessie, of course, as well. Her capacity to love is, because she's still present in just not in this. She's not here in physical form, but she's still present. She's right here.
Yes, yes.
She is right. She's right here. Ever since I was a little girl, I was really connected to the divine. Like I was able to close my eyes, and I could feel my body drop into the bed, and I could feel myself, like my earliest memories, I'm not even 2, like going out and going everywhere. And I remember I thought that was normal. And as I got to be 4 and 5, I just thought that was normal. So I remember trying to talk to my mom. And she was just like, and she just tucked me under her, she literally just scooped me under her arms and just, tucked me in. And I remember in that moment going, oh, I guess this isn't normal. This isn't normal. But the other thing I had was a profound love for everyone. Like I just thought everybody had that. Like it was just this deep, profound love and connection to everyone. And my mom said that I was born in Alaska. And the first time we flew, I think I was a little over a year. I was walking already. And we flew from Alaska to Wisconsin, which is where they were from. And she said I was walking up and down the aisles. And she said I was just looking at everybody, hello, crawling in their lap and giving them a hug. I just felt like this love for just, and I think it's innate in everybody. Yeah. But I was fortunate because my mother really fostered that.
Wow, your mother,
she really fostered that. She saw that and she said, we're going to really nurture that.
Yeah, that is, wow. What a gift.
Such a gift.
Yeah, what a gift.
She was my biggest influence.
Yeah.
She was my number one influence,
I know.
And then I would say, because I had been on my spiritual path. I was raised very religious, and not that there's anything wrong with religion, but I always felt very spiritual.
Yes.
Like my father went to church every single day.
What is the difference for you between religion and spirituality?
Such a great question. For me, spirituality is the ownership of the connection to the divine and love. Whereas what I noticed growing up with religion is it tended to get stuck in the dogma. And I'm going to share an experience. It's okay?
Yeah. Yes. No, of course. Okay. Yes.
My mother, and I remember she told me this story. When she was making her Holy Communion. So my mom, I'm 64. So when she was growing up, this is quite a long time ago. Yeah. And she said she was making her Holy Communion, and everybody was all lined up. All the families were there. It was very beautiful. And this one little girl, she was thirsty, and she went to get a drink of water. And I don't know if it was one of the nuns or the teachers or somebody, yanked her and started screaming at her and didn't let her make her Holy Communion.
Wow.
And see, to me, that's you're too stuck in rules, and you're not in love. Yeah. Even when we see, when we see religions fighting each other, I'm thinking to myself, God's going, "What are y'all doing?"
Yeah.
Like, if you really one of my, when you talk about my influences, one of my first teacher influences past my schooling, like when I was educating myself on my spiritual journey, is Joseph Campbell. And he spent a lifetime, you know Joseph Campbell.
Yes.
When I found his book, a friend of mine gave me his 6-part series, The Power of Myth.
Okay.
Interview series.
Oh, wow, I got to check it out.
Amazing.
The Power of Myth.
The Power of Myth. Bill Moyer interviewed him. It was a 6-part series. Amazing. And literally, this was 94, so I was maybe right around your age, your age.
Yeah.
And I had no ability to find any spiritual material anywhere I looked. I had it in me, but there was no conversations I was able to have. There was no one I found who I could learn from. And so he was the first person. And literally when I heard it, I was just like, oh, my soul is hearing. My ears are hearing for the first time what my soul has known for lifetimes.
Wow. Yeah.
That's what I felt because I finally found somebody who was speaking my language that I had been speaking since I came into this body.
Yeah. I mean, that's so incredible. And one thing I really want my audience to take away is how to get to that place in their lives, because I feel like that's when you're most of service to yourself and humanity when you're really offering your gift.
And you're the happiest.
And yes, you are. Yeah.
So happy when you get to do this. Like, aren't you so happy to
Yes, I
even
know.
when
It's such
you're
a blessing.
so busy?
I know, exactly. I wake up and I'm like, I love literally everything. I feel whole. You know what I mean? To close off today's episode, I would love if you can share some practical steps that the people listening can take and to start implementing so they can really align themselves with their path and serve the world and themselves with love. Because that's what we need.
That's what we're inviting in.
Yes, yeah.
I would say they're all important, but the first word I'm hearing is trust, and I'm going to tell you why. When we trust, then we have the courage to have the willingness to move forward. It's when I work with my private clients, I do this whole process with them where I'm able to go in to the subconscious, find the blocks, clear the false beliefs, clear the coping mechanisms, clear the negative programming, clear all that out in present time. And then,
such a great program.
Oh, it's and I do this privately with people too.
Okay.
It's amazing.
We'll talk about it at the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one of the things I bring in for people is I invite them to bring in their truth and their trust in their truth. So that's one of the things I'd ask people to, because when I say that, you're going to have an inkling. It could be like like a little butterfly in your tummy, a little resonance in your heart, wouldn't that be amazing to do that, have that, be that. And it's not one of these things of, wouldn't it be nice to have that shiny, not to say there's anything wrong with a shiny red car, but just so I could show off to everybody else. It's not that kind of a thing. It's literally within your whole being, something says, yes, wouldn't this be amazing? There's a part of my soul that's longing to express that. So we want to trust that. Number one.
Trust.
Then after we say, okay, I want to trust that.
Okay.
Now they take the reset breath, and then one step at a time, be willing to take one tiny baby step in the direction of where that is. And then, of course, it'll get scary because we know because it was scary for us and continues to be scary. Like I'm opening I'm doing something brand new now, like every time. That's the thing. People think, oh, you just never are afraid.
No, I know, exactly.
There's always butterflies. Before I go on stage every time, before I do any interview, it's always. In fact, I got here. I left my house at 10. I got here at 10:35. I was sitting,
oh my God.
And literally, and I wanted to get here early. I wanted to be here right on time. I wanted that. And I did this beautiful meditation. And I did the process that I teach people what to do. And in the process, we clear out the fear that sits there. And as we clear that out, then it's easy to begin. It's easy to then take the next step, right?
Yes.
You just because you have the courage. You hone your courage, and then you have willingness. I always say, if you can be willing to be open to the possibility.
Be willing to be
of
open.
saying yes. Where you've previously said no. Miracles can happen, right?
Yes.
If you can just be, it's the willingness. It's like, I remember when I started dancing professionally when I was 40. It's insane. Nobody does that. And I was willing to be open. And also you have to be willing to have people think different things.
Yes.
And you're just going to say, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm following. Everybody thought I was crazy.
Yeah.
When I left what I was doing.
I mean, I think you have been living such an incredible life that has always been contradictory to societal norms.
Completely and very controversial.
Yeah.
Very controversial.
What part would you say is controversial?
Even now, being 64 and still running around in the bikini on my social media, my hair long, dressing how I want to dress. You can't imagine you would think we're expressing ourselves the way we want. You can't imagine some of the conversations. Like,
wow, that is insane.
And part of the reason I push the envelope with this is so women have the freedom to say, oh, I can do whatever I want.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you.
You don't have to buy into it.
Yes.
You don't have to. You don't have to do anything
Yeah.
that's counter to your own truth.
Oh my gosh. I feel like
Right?
you are empowering so many women. So many women.
That's my
You-
intention.
Yes, you really are. I mean,
Thank
even
you.
you embody so much sexiness also. Like you are just sexy to me, like sexy. And you encourage me to feel confident in my body and to be like,
Right.
love my skin and you know what I mean?
Exactly. Well, and it's funny because a lot of women were shamed not to express themselves in a way that's sexy. Like there's a lot of, in fact, even our next episode, we can
Yes,
talk more
we will
about
talk
this.
more about that. Yeah.
But there's a lot of shame around that, and there's nothing to be shameful about. Like I said, we came into these physical bodies to express in them our sensuality, our sexuality, our femininity. All of that is our divine feminine expression. There is nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
There's nothing shameful about that. And to be able to own that and express that and have that is wonderful.
Oh,
and fun.
beautiful.
It's part of being a woman.
Fun.
And fun, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be like my mother was much more, I would say she was more classical, more Jackie O in the way she dressed and her expression. And that's one way to express. And my sister too, she's much more classical in her way. I like to be sassier. I like to be sexier. I like that expression. And one's no different than the other. It's just, what is your truth? What's your own truth? And then you own that and you express that. And not shame anybody else for their way. Like you can't shame someone if they like to be tailored and they show up and they're very tailored. Someone else shouldn't be shaming them for being tailored or for being conservative. That's what they love.
Yes.
That's their expression.
Yeah.
And that's their ownership of their truth. Same on the other end of it. Like I like to be a little more sexy and sassy and fun in my expression, and that we invite not to be shamed about that either. So it's the full expression of whatever we want.
Wow, that is so important to
Right?
say, and that was a big aha moment for me also because I think it's so important to, like you said, whatever that expression is.
Yes, and on whatever particular day.
Yeah.
Like you may be feeling very tailored
Exactly.
one day, and you may be feeling very sassy the next day.
Yeah.
Like we don't need to have somebody. Nobody deserves to be put into a box. That's the one thing I'm really like. I don't let anybody put me in a box. So I don't want anybody else to be put in a box.
Yeah.
It's like I like to shatter that box of conformity.
Likewise.
Right? I know you do.
Yes.
And shatter that idea of what someone or something is supposed to look like.
Yeah.
It's our life.
Last but not least, just to kind of wrap up today's episode, I would love for you to tell people where they can find you and your book. Here we have the amazing book, one of my favorite books. And also what services you're offering for anybody out there who's listening, who is wanting to work more one-on-one and personally with you.
Oh, I love that. Thank you for asking. Thank you. She's so beautiful.
Likewise.
Beautiful, but we'll have to talk about next episode. We're going to talk about radiance.
Oh,
and beauty.
subtle beauty. Oh my God. Yes. Okay, let's
we are
touch on
gonna
that.
talk
Don't
about
forget.
that.
Yes.
And you have it.
Yes.
So thank you.
Yes.
You have that. Okay. So I love that question. Thank you. So they can come to my social medias, and will you put that?
Yes, everything is going to be in the
Perfect.
description of the episode, but also here in the video.
Oh, I love that. Perfect. So you guys can go to my Instagram, my YouTube. I've been promising people.
I know. I miss you on YouTube so much. You're one of my favorite creators ever.
Really?
Yes.
Thank you for saying
We need
that.
you back on YouTube.
Do you know what? I've just recently hired an editor. Do you know I was doing all my own editing?
I thought you had help.
No.
That is so crazy.
It was taking me 30 hours to. I think people didn't realize that.
No.
Because I didn't want to just do like I didn't want to just do videos where I just was talking. I did.
Oh, okay.
But once I started getting creative, they weren't having it anymore. They're like, we don't like the videos where you just talk.
Are you? I know. I mean, I love the lifestyle, the routines,
the
everything.
Fun, taking people everywhere.
Skinny dipping. I mean, well, maybe not skinny dipping, but dipping in the pool. I'm like, yes.
And it was fun, and it gave. The reason I love doing it is because it gives people permission. When they see somebody my age doing it, or any age for that matter, but really I'm at 64.
Any age.
Like it gives them, they're like, oh, I forgot to have that. I forgot to give myself permission to enjoy my life. And
Like,
so
I can have fun.
I can have fun as well as be responsible. They're not either or. They're and.
Yes. Yeah.
So, yes, I was doing everything by myself, which was too
okay.
much with my private practice and my business. It just was too much.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So now that I have help, I'm going to come back. So I can come
yay! Oh my gosh, you guys have to subscribe. She
please
has so many,
come and say hi.
so many great videos already, guys.
for saying that.
Morning routines, what I eat in a day. I mean, there's so much of everything in there. You guys are gonna love
I
it.
you for saying that. Thank you. So I am going to go before the end of the year. I am going to go back.
Okay,
So
good.
thank you.
Okay, good. She said it,
yeah.
guys.
So now you're going to hold me to it.
Exactly.
I claimed it here in this sacred space. There's a couple things I
Yes.
have. There's one that's a downloadable program,
Okay.
which they can have, and it's videos of me. So, and I made it very intimate. So the video is very much connecting with people. So they have me on the journey with them.
Oh, beautiful.
And that's called the Radiance Factor.
Okay.
Which I
The
really,
Radiance
Radiance
Factor.
Factor,
Wow.
which I really, really love.
Yeah.
And then I'm launching this in November. It's an actual month-long program live on Zoom with me.
Oh, wow.
And it's called the Superpower Formula. And that's where I teach the intuition. That's where I teach. So I'm getting a group of people together and I'm walking them through the process that I do with my private clients in a group. And we're going to work on all 4 pillars of life for manifestation and teaching intuition, teaching owning our truth, teaching how to manifest, teaching how to live our most authentic self so that we can flourish and grow and have abundance.
Wow, what a gift.
I'm so excited about
Yeah,
this. Yes,
that's so exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's exciting.
It's really exciting. So
Yeah.
if anybody's interested in that, please let me know because there is a start date. The other one you just download, but this one there's a start date in November.
Okay, November.
So if you're interested, please, I would love to have them come join because it's going to be because after that I'm going to make it into an online program. So it's going to be the one time where I'm doing it live.
Oh, that's incredible.
So,
Oh
so
my God,
it'll
what a
be-
gift.
It'll actually be me actually coaching people.
Wow.
yeah.
Yes. So people should definitely take advantage of this
Please.
opportunity.
Yeah.
I will have
love
all of
that.
that where they can sign
Thank
up
you.
down below, guys. Okay?
Thank you.
And then we can't forget about
The
her
book,
book, which is also
yes.
an incredible story all on its
Thank
own.
you.
And
Thank
how
you.
it
I
even
love
came to
How it
fruition.
even came to be.
You know?
Yeah, it's interesting that you
Yeah.
say that. And you can get on my website, drelizabeth.com.
Okay, you can buy it here?
Yeah, you can get you can get it on the website. You can get it on Amazon, but you can get it on the website.
Okay.
And all the courses are on the website too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So everything is in one place,
everything's
guys.
at drelizabeth.com.
Yes.
But thank you
Yeah,
for saying
I love
that.
this.
I love. In fact,
Yeah.
I remember when you shared with me your video that you enjoyed the book and you connected with me.
Yes,
That touched me so much.
yes.
was
I
like,
mean, it's such a
thank
great
you.
book. It's such a great
Thank
book,
you.
and I think it touches on every aspect. You know?
I wanted it to. I really wanted this book to be to help people on their awakening journey. My whole purpose is to help people wake up.
Yeah.
To be the best version of themselves.
yeah.
That's my goal. And so I love that.
It's mind, body, and soul. Everything is
whole
in there.
thing.
Yeah.
Body, mind, heart, soul, and spirit.
Oh,
The whole journey.
Yeah. So thank you, Dr.
Oh my God,
Elizabeth. It was such a gift
It's so
to be
lovely
here with you
here.
today. And we're going to have another episode together coming soon. Very exciting topics, but again, just super grateful to have you here with me and to be in front of you in your presence.
Likewise.
Thank you.
I love our time together today.
Likewise.
It's really, really special. And you're amazing. Keep up this work because it's amazing what you're doing.
Thank you, Dr. Elizabeth. I appreciate it. So we'll talk to you guys soon.